Hello everyone, I am Govardhan and welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's video, we are going to build a text-based slot machine. The way it works is, first we are going to take input from the user, how much deposit that he wants to make. After taking deposit, we can allow him to bet on either one line or two line or three lines. If he gets a same letter in the entire line means he wins, and also his winnings will be multiplied with the value related to that letter. Every letter has some value. His winnings will be multiplied with the value related to that letter, and his winnings will be added to his balance. And also he can continue his game, and also he can quit at any point of the game. This is how our slot machine works. Now let's get into the project. Let me open my Visual Studio and I will create a file name as main.py. We are going to build this project on Python. Okay, first we are going to take deposit from the user. For that we have to create a function named as deposit. Let me create function deposit, define deposit. Here we are going to create a loop, while loop. When the condition is true, it is going to run. First we are going to take input, amount is equals to input. We are going to ask what would you like to deposit. And question mark. Next we are going to check if amount is digit or not, because we can take a user can give anything as an input. He can give a string or a number, anything, we don't know. So we have to check either it is a number or not. After checking, if it is a number, then we are going to convert it into integer, because we are here taking input as a string. We are going to convert it as a integer. Int amount. And also we are going to check after converting if the amount is greater than 0 means, because he can enter negative numbers also, who knows. If the amount is greater than 0 means, then we simply break it, we don't continue. We are gonna break it. If it is not greater than 0 means, either it means it was negative means, then we are going to print amount should be greater than 0, because currency always positive, guys, it cannot be negative. Amount should be greater than 0. It is capital here. Next I'm going to close this if. I'm going to write else condition for this if. So for here I'm going to give else, please enter a number, means if our amount is not a digit means, then I'm going to print please enter a number. Please enter a number. So finally I'm going to return amount after exiting this while loop. Return amount. And also I'm gonna create a main function for running our whole program. Define main, Here I'm going to give balance is equals to deposit. At the start of our programming, means at the start of our game, we just made deposit. That deposit is equals to our total balance, means we didn't play game until now. Now we are going to call this main function to start the game. Guys, we just take a deposit from the user. Now we have to take how many number of lines that he wants to bet. So for this I'm going to create another function named as get number of lines. Get number of lines. Here also I am doing the same thing because number of lines is also an integer. So let me copy and paste here for quick. Here I am going to change few changes because it is not amount, here it is lines, and also it is also lines is equals to input. So I'm going to change here enter number of lines, enter number of lines that you want to deposit. Here I am going to check if our lines is integer, is digit or not. After checking, I am converting my lines to integer because it is a string. We can only able to convert numbers in the integer format to integers. Guys, we cannot convert strings because we cannot, if a user inputs something like hello, means we cannot convert it into the integer. That's why we are first converting it to the, first we are checking is either the input that user given is digit or not. After checking, we are able to convert it into the integer. Lines. Here I need to change the condition, guys, because we have only in our text based slot machine we are building a basic machine, so we have only 3 lines. So for that we are going to check 1 less than or equals to lines equals to 3. Our lines value always lies between 1 to 3. So let me create a global variable here. Let me name it as max lines, that is equals to 3. So I'm gonna replace it with global variable our max lines. Okay, if it is condition is true, means we are gonna break. If else not, we are going to print enter valid number of lines, valid number of lines here. Okay, if he enters string means either string means we are gonna print please enter a number. Finally we are gonna return lines. Okay, now let me run this little program and check for errors, and also for I'm going to print the values here. I'm gonna take lines is equals to get number of lines. So I'm gonna print our balance comma lines. Let me run it. Okay, what would you like to deposit? I want to deposit 20. enter number of lines, 2. See, we are printing the values here, so we don't have any errors. We can continue the program. Let me close this terminal. I can continue my program. Now we are going to take bet. How much bet does he want to bet on the slot machine? So let me create a function known as get bet. Here also we are doing the same thing, guys. Here also bet is also an integer. We can copy this program and paste here. Here it is bet. Oh, let me take it as amount only, because bet also is money. We can take it as amount. We can print here what would you like to bet on each line. Bet on each line. Okay, that's it. Okay, let me give dollar symbol here. Here it is money, so we have to give any currency symbol. In keyboard we don't have any Indian rupee currency symbol, so let me give dollar. Okay, now here amount is digit, we are checking, and also okay. Guys, we have something called as minimum bet and maximum bet. Let me create a global variable. Let me create a max bet. So I'm giving global values in uppercase letters. Max bet is equals to, let me give it as $1,000, and minimum bet is equals to, let me give it as $1. Now I can come here. Here I'm going to check if our amount is between our minimum bet and maximum bet. So I'm gonna minimum bet less than or equals to amount less than or equals to maximum bet. So we are checking here if our amount is between our minimum bet or maximum bet. Now I'm gonna print here our amount must be between our minimum bet and maximum bet. So I'm gonna print here our global variables, guys. For printing global variables we have to write if conditions. Here I'm going to write if condition, and we are going to use flower brackets between minimum bet, minimum bet. So let me give dollar also here, between minimum bet and maximum bet. That's it. Finally we are returning the amount. Okay, we are good to go. Now I'm going to print the bet. Bet is equals to get bet. Let me check now. What would you like to deposit? $100. Enter number of lines. I'm going to bet on 3 lines. So guys, let me give 0 here. You can check for condition. See, it was printing amount must be between $1 and $1,000. This is how our minimum bet and maximum bet global variables work. Now let me print again. I'm going to give $20 now. Let me run again. Let me clear this. It was confusing. Let me run again. I'm going to print $20. Enter number of lines, 2 lines. I'm going to bet $2 on each line. So we are printing the values. This is how it works. Let me close it. Now I'm going to write condition. Let me import random, guys. For spinning, we are gonna randomly generate letters, right? A, B, C. In that slot machine you have seen, right? When we press this button means random letters will appear and they will spin, and they randomly show us a line. So we have to use a random here. So let me first import random. Import random. So I'm gonna give number of rows and columns also here. Let me create a global variables. Rows is equals to 3 because we are creating a 3x3 slot machine here. So I'm going to give rows and columns is equals to 3. Next I'm going to create a dictionary, guys. Let me create it as symbol count. Means how many number of A's, B's, C's, D's are present for picking. So let me create A's. Let me give I'm giving random numbers here. This is not how a slot machine works. We are creating a basic slot machine, so we are giving some random values. I'm going to give number of A's as let me give 3. Number of B's as, let me give it as 4. I have to give comma because it's a dictionary. And number of C's as 5. Number of D's as 6. Now let me create a function get slot machine spin. So we are creating a function, guys, to spin the slot machine and to randomly generate the letters. I will create get slot machine spin here function. Let me create it. Get slot machine spin. I'm going to pass it rows, comma, columns and symbols. See, guys, I am passing these rows, columns and these symbol counts here. These 3 are those global variables. Now let's this function, first I'm going to create an empty list called as all symbols. That is equals to empty list. Next I'm going to loop in through this dictionary, guys. So for that I have to write for symbol, comma, symbol count in symbols dot items, because it's a dictionary, that's why we have to use item command. See, guys, symbol means this A, B, C values. Symbol count means this one 3, 4, 5, 6 values. Now let me create another inner loop here. Instead of I am using this slash. This slash will take all elements in that symbol count. Now let me write symbol count. I'm going to append all symbols dot append symbol. See, guys, I am doing here, see, I am creating an empty list all symbols, and I am inserting A 3 times in that empty list, B 4 times, C 5 times, D 6 times. That's what I'm doing through these all commands. Now let me get into the next step. Here I'm creating one more list name as columns. Here also I'm going through all the elements in this calls, means the range of calls. See, if here columns means there are 3 columns, right? Let me change it. I will give it as, instead of columns, I will give it as calls. That would be easy. Now I'm going to create one more inner list. Its name, I name it as column. So finally we insert all these columns into columns. See, here I have 3 columns, so I'm going to insert this column 3 column into columns. Now I will copy the list here. Current symbols is equals to all symbols. See, I'm copying the list. If I just copy like this, means if I change anything in current symbols, means all the changes will reflect in all symbols also. This is not an exact copy. For creating an exact copy, I have to use this is 2. Now I'm going to create another loop here for slash in range of rows value is equals to, I'm going to choose randomly from those current symbols list. I'm randomly choosing a letter from this current symbols list here. Let me current symbols. Now I'm going to remove those value from the current symbol list. For that one, I have to use command current symbols dot remove value, because we have to remove this. If I choose any value from this current symbol list, means I am going to insert that into our column list. Then I am picking another letter from the current symbol list, and also at the same time we have to delete this value from the current symbol list before picking another value. So now let me append it. Column dot append value. I'm going to append the value. Now I'm going to append this column into columns. I'm going to append this column into columns because that is our final list. And finally I'm going to return columns. Now let me get into our main function. I'm going to delete this. In this place I'm going to create total bet is equals to, guys, our bet will be multiplied with the number of lines that we are going to select. So bet into number of lines that we choose to bet, that is our total bet. Next I'm going to create slots is equals to get slots machine of spin. So I'm going to pass the values here. I'm going to pass rows, comma columns, and symbol count, the global variables that we are created above in this file. Symbol count, that's it. I'm just assigned the values here, and also I want to print out these slots. So for that one I have to create one more function. Let me create it. Here I will create a function here. Define print slot machine. I'm going to pass those columns here that we written this here. I'm going to pass these columns into this new function named as print slot machine. We are going to print these columns here. So for that, first I'm going to loop. See guys, here we have columns in this order. So let me show you. I am A comma B comma B, A comma. I'm just showing how the columns are present in this function and how we are going to print them. A comma B comma D. This is how the columns are present in it. Now I'm going to transpose these columns, because here see, these columns are present in straightly, but columns means they are vertical. So I'm going to make this A B B into vertical, A C D into vertical, A B D into vertical. Let me show it. Let me show here. I'm going to make them like this. See guys, I am trying to transpose this list and I am going to print like this. See A comma A slash A, and next I'm going to print B comma space C comma space and B D D. This is how I am going to print this. I am going to make this list into like this. I am going to trying to print like this. So I am going to write the function for this. Let me write a function for row in length of columns of 0. For I comma column in enumerate. I will tell you why I am using enumerate columns So in this I am going to create an if condition. If I is not equals to length of columns minus 1, then I am going to print columns of row comma end, because I don't want to create a new line here. That's why I'm using end function. See guys, in the before I typed right a slash a slash a, and in there we don't have slash after the last letter. So that's why I'm going to give this slash for only from starting to not ending, from 0 to length minus 1. That's why I'm going condition here. Now let me create an else class, and also I don't want to create a new line, that's why I'm using end here. Let me give else print column of row, comma end is equals to, here I don't want anything to print, so that's why I'm giving an empty string. Now we are going to print it. See, we want a new line for every column, we want a new line. That's why I am finally just using print here. Print creates a new line. Now let me go here and try to run this. Let me print slot machine and slot machine of slots. Let me run and see what we are going to get. I'm going to deposit $100 here. I'm going to bet on 2 lines. I am going to bet $2 on each line. See, we are getting some mistake here. Now let me correct this mistake. We have done some serious mistake. Let me get there. Sorry, it is not a columns, it's a column. Columns means entire columns will come. So let me run it now once again, so that I'm going to give $100 deposit, 2 lines, and I'm going to bet $2 on each line. See, now our slot machine is working perfectly. This is, now we have lot of things to do. Now we just printed a slot machine, we have to calculate the winnings also. So for that thing, let me go on to top. I am going to create a dictionary, one more dictionary here. I'm going to create a value, symbol value. For each value, for each letter there is some value. We are going to multiply that value to the letter, then I am going to calculate the total winnings. So first let me create a value, symbol value is equals to, I'm going to give a 5, b 4, c, I'm going to give 3. Now d, I'm going to give it 2. Why I have, oh here I forgot comma. Yeah, that's it. Create a function to check winnings. Check winnings. I'm going to pass columns, comma lines, and bet and values. These values are this symbol value. Now let me create it. I will create a variable winnings that is equals, I will initialize it to 0. I'm going to create a list that is winning lines. I'm going to add winning lines into this list. I will create a loop for line in range of lines. Symbol is equals to columns of 0 of line. I'm going to create one more loop for column in columns. Symbol to check is equals to column of line. If symbol is not equals to symbol to check, then I am going to break this. Otherwise, I am going to add this to winnings. Winnings equals to values of symbol. See guys, I am retrieving the value from here. If it is A, I am retrieving 5. If it's B, means I am retrieving 4. If it's C, means I am retrieving 3. If it's D, means I am retrieving 2 and multiplying it to the bet. And also we want winning lines. Winning lines is equals to, sorry, it is a list, so I'm going to append it, not equals to, append line plus 1. Finally, I'm going to return winnings and winning lines. That's it. Now I will go into the main function. Here I am going to create a variables for winnings. Comma winning lines. Is equals to check winnings of what are the variables that I am passed here. Columns, lines, bet and values. So let me get into here. So here it is, columns means slots, comma lines, comma bet, and values means it is the symbol value dictionary. So I'm going to passing it here, symbol value. That's it. Now I'm going to print you won. Here I want to print out the global variable. For that one I have to use fprint, so it is small. Let me use you won. For printing global variable I have to use flower brackets winnings. I think that's it. And also I want to print winning lines. Here also I'm going to use fprint because I'm going to print a global variable. You won on lines. On lines I'm going to give space. See guys, here I am printing a list. For printing a list you need to give star and winning lines. Winning lines is a list. Now I am going to finally return our winnings. That winnings minus total bet. If I lose a bet means. So that's it. Let me run and check. So I'm going to deposit $100. Number of lines 2, each line $2. So that's it. See guys, our function was immediately ending. I want to play the game until I quit. For that I want to create a new function. Instead of main, I will create a new function named as spin. Define spin. I'm going to pass balance into this spin. So I'm going to pass all these things into our spin function. Let me pass it. Okay, that's it. So I want to create a while loop here, guys, because I want to play game until I quit. For that I want to use a while loop. Let me firstly create a while loop while true. So I'm going to keep this bet and total bet inside the while loop, and also I want to check, guys, see if our total bet is greater than balance, means then I have to return an error. I don't want to continue the game. I have to print something like you exceeded the chances, means your total bet is greater than the balance. I'm going to return something like that. So for that I have to use a if condition. If total bet is greater than balance, means then I'm going to print you do not have enough balance enough to bet that amount. So I'm going to print our current balance also. Let me print our current balance also. Your current balance is see, I'm going to give dollar symbol. I am printing the global variable here, balance. So for printing this I have to use f statement, f. So I want to give else condition also, else I just break. So I'm finally, after this while condition, I have to print something. I am going to print you are betting. I'm going to print my dollars, that is bet. I have to use f statement. You are betting on lines. Total bet is equal to finally I'm going to print our total bet value here, total bet. I think that's it. And also I have to delete this one. Let me delete it, guys. Here I want to create a if statement to continue the game and to quit the game. For that I have to, let me create a while loop here, while true. I'm going to print our current balance. For that I have to use f current balance is dollar balance. After printing the current balance, I have to take an input from the user, that is if he want to continue the game or quit the game. Let me type it. Press enter to play the game, and also Q to quit. I think that's it. Now if we press q means if answer equals to q means, then we are going to quit the game. Means we are just simply breaking it here. We are not continuing. We are not going to run this spin function. So that it. If he want to continue means, I'm just writing here balance plus is equals to spin. I am running my spin function here. I'm in balance. We need to, in spin function we need to pass the balance. Let me pass it, balance. Now finally I am going to print after this while loop, print you left with I'm gonna print the balance here. After quitting the game we are going to print this. You are left with this much of amount. So that's it. I have to give F statement thing. That's it. We are good to go. Our program is ready. Now let me open it. Let me clear the terminal. Let me run it. First, what would you like to deposit? I want to deposit $90. So okay, I'm going to continue the game. Number of lines 3. I am going to bet $10 on each line. See, we won on 1, 2, 3 lines and our current balance is $170. We got a line here, that's why we won. Now let me play again. I want to deposit, I want to bet on 2 lines. I want to bet $20 on each line. Looks like we got an error, guys. We are made some mistake. Our game is not functioning properly. Let me check it. See here, instead of losing, see, we don't get any strike. See, we don't get all same letters in the line, but still our game is showing you won. We have some mistake here. If we have mistake in check winnings, I think check winnings function. So let me get there and see what's the mistake I have done. Let me check. First I created a loop. Symbol is equals to columns of lines. It's okay. Now symbol to check is equals to column of line. If symbol is not equals to symbol to check, else break. Think. Yeah, it was check winnings function is nice. Now let me get there. I have made somewhat mistake. I did a mistake. Let me once again check this check winnings function. So after breaking I have to use this else conditions. So there is simple syntax error, guys. Spaces are important in Python, then our whole programming will change. So I think that's it. Let me run once again and check whether I have any done mistakes. Let me clear it first, so that we have to, let me quit here, let me clear it. Now once again I run the function. Let me run it. I will running. I want to deposit $90 now. I want to play. I want to bet on 3 lines. I want to bet on $10 on each line. See here, now I am getting perfectly. See, we don't get any line. That's why we lose. We don't lose. And $30 is our total bet. $90 minus $30. We got our current balance as 60. Let me play again. I'm going to click enter. I want to bet on now. Again, I'm going to bet on 2 lines. I want to bet $5 on each line. Our total bet is $10. Still I lose because I don't get any line here. And let me play once again. I'm going to continue. I'm going to bet on 1 line now. I would like to bet $20 on each line. See, I still lose. Let me play once again. I'm going to bet on 3 lines now. $1 on each line. I lose again. Let me continue. I'm going to bet on 3 lines once again. $1 on each line. I lose again. $3. I'm going to bet on 3 lines. $1 on each line. See, now we won because see, we got D in 1 line. Same D, all D's in 1 line. That's why we won. We won on line number 1, and our winnings is $2 because we bet $1 on each line of these 3. We only get in 1 line, and also we have, see, the symbol value of D is 2 into $1, $2. That's why we won $2, and thus $2 is added to our balance, and our total balance is currently 23. I want to quit means I will enter Q. See, simply I quit. I left with $23. See guys, this is our slot machine game. We completely created our project. That's it. Thank you guys. Thanks for watching. Meet you tomorrow with another exciting project. Thank you.